Two phones from different brands at different price segments, but two phones with the same chip inside. So, is the G5 Plus just overpriced? Or is there more to this than the spec sheet shows? Well, let's find out in this video. But before we do, if this is your first time here or in case you just can't remember, I'm Ash, your host for today. You're watching C4 eTech, and this is a full comparison of the Moto G5 Plus with the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4. Let's get started. So first, let's start with the display. The Note 4 sports a 5.5-inch Full HD IPS LCD display, meaning a pixel density of about 400 pixels per inch. The G5 Plus, on the other hand, has a denser display with a 425 pixels per inch pixel density thanks to that smaller 5.2-inch display. That said, the display on the Redmi Note 4 has better whites, offers better saturation. You aren't gonna be disappointed with the G5 Plus, but when you compare them side by side, the Redmi Note 4 seems to hold an edge. But it's also worth noting that while Lenovo's used Gorilla Glass for protection on the G5 Plus, Xiaomi's used some kind of 2.5D glass for protection, but they haven't mentioned the brand. Now, despite sporting a smaller display, the Moto G5 Plus is almost as tall and just 0.2mm narrower than the Note 4. It is considerably slimmer at 7.7mm compared to 8.5 on the Redmi Note 4 and 10 grams lighter as well at 155 grams. But that comes at the expense of battery. 3000 mAh on the G5 Plus compared to 4100 mAh on the Redmi Note 4. So overall, from a build and design standpoint, I'd have to go with the Redmi Note 4. It just feels better built. The plastic running around the display on the G5 Plus kinda reminds me of Samsung mid-rangers from a few years back. And it's not a great look at all, not then, not now. Now, underneath the hood, both phones are powered by the same Snapdragon 625 chip. With the Redmi Note 4, you get 2, 3 and 4 gig RAM options along with 16, 32 and 64 gig storage options. For the G5 Plus, here in India, you only get 3 and 4 gig RAM options with 16 and 32 gigs of onboard storage. That said, the G5 Plus does have an edge here in the form of a dedicated micro SD card slot. Has an edge with regards to storage. With both phones supporting VoLTE, most of us might use the second SIM from Jio, so that means you'd have to sacrifice a micro SD card slot with the Redmi Note 4, which opts for a hybrid slot, but you don't have to do that with the G5 Plus. Anyway, moving on, as far as the battery life goes, given the similar specs, the 1100 mAh or 33% extra capacity on the Redmi Note 4 makes its presence felt. While the Moto G5 Plus will easily last you through a full day of moderate usage on a single charge, the Redmi Note 4 will get you close to the 2-day mark more often than not. At least reach that second day evening. So this here is a no contest with the Redmi Note 4 taking the honors. Now, talking about no contests, let's talk camera. The 12 megapixel f1.7 shooter on the Moto G5 Plus blows the 13 megapixel f2.0 shooter on the Redmi Note 4. It just blows it away. No matter the conditions, the G5 Plus wins, and it wins by quite a large margin. Here are a few more samples for you guys to take a look at. Again, with video, the Moto G5 Plus has an edge. The dual autofocus pixels help greatly. The footage is just more detailed. Also note that the G5 Plus can record at 4K 30 FPS and 1080p 60 FPS, whereas the Redmi Note 4 is capped at 1080p 30 FPS. With selfies, again, the Moto G5 Plus wins. Better images, the wider angle lens results in a larger field of view, helping the G5 Plus remain dominant with the optics. And on that note, let's now talk software. The Moto G5 Plus runs on an almost stockish version of Android 7 Nougat with a few Moto tweaks on top. These tweaks, like twist to launch the camera or single button controls via the fingerprint scanner, help enhance the experience while keeping most things stock. The end result, the G5 Plus is very fast and snappy. The user experience is great. Now, on the other hand, with the Redmi Note 4, it runs on Android 6 Marshmallow with Xiaomi's custom MIUI 8.1 on top. MIUI brings a lot of customization options with it, but is very heavily skinned. That results in the user experience being a little slower than on the G5 Plus. It's not bad enough for you to notice unless you are testing them both side by side, but it is noticeably slower. Next up, let's move on to price. The Redmi Note 4 starts at 10,000 rupees, but that's for the 2GB RAM variant, so let's skip that and compare the 3 and 4GB RAM variants. For the 3GB RAM variant, the Redmi Note 4 is priced at 11,000 rupees and the 4GB RAM variant 13,000 rupees. With the G5 Plus, it is 15,000 and 17,000, meaning the price difference is 4,000 rupees between the G5 Plus and the Redmi Note 4. So what does the Redmi Note 4 have going for it? A better build, larger and better display, double the storage for both RAM variants, 4,000 rupees cheaper, much better battery life. Under the G5 Plus's list of pros, we've got a snappier phone overall, a little lighter and smaller, a dedicated microSD card slot, stockish Android, and a much better camera. And that is what it all boils down to, 4,000 rupees, and that's the cost you pay for the stockish Android experience and that amazing camera. If you feel both are worth that extra money, then pick up a G5 Plus. You'd definitely be happy with it. But if camera and stock Android usage aren't high on your list of priorities, then you'd be happy with the Redmi Note 4 too. You'd save 4,000 rupees, and that's always great, saving money. So that's my take on the Redmi Note 4 versus the Moto G5 Plus. What do you say? Do you agree with my conclusion here? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you do wanna pick either of these phones up, I'll be leaving direct links in the description below. Use them, it helps the channel out. So if you hated this video, if you found anything that you weren't happy with, let me know what, and you can also vote this video down. But if you did like it, go ahead, give it a big huge thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. If you have already subscribed, do this to make sure you get notified each time a new video goes live here on C4eTech. So that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, this is Ash here from C4eTech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye bye now.